Shortly after my girlfriend and I got engaged, I discovered she had been unfaithful for some time. The person she had cheated with was someone in the same circle as me. We were not actually friends, though. I'd had my suspicions before, but every time I voiced them, I was told that I was overthinking things and being too anxious or insecure. Because of this, I ended up spending thousands on therapists to help me deal with my anger, management issues, anxiety problems, and low self-esteem to fix what was wrong with me. Sometimes I'd have outbursts of anger. This was due to the anxiety and trauma in my past, so it made sense for me to seek help and therapy to work through all of these issues. After I found out she was cheating, the realization that I had been right about everything all along upended my world. My concept of myself, my self-worth, my anxiety, and so many other issues were shattered in an instant. For what felt like weeks, I wandered through life unable to trust anything. I was normally a tranquil, caring, and mostly optimistic person. Now, however, I've become an aggressive, destructive person who breaks things in fits of anger. I've smashed a phone into the wall. I've snapped a laptop in half over my knee. I've thrown multiple pot plants off the balcony. My words are sharp and hurtful, abusive even. I'm paranoid and disconnected from my body, like I'm stuck in my head, just watching as it takes control and goes wild. After all that had happened, I decided to stay with my fiancée. She seemed fully repentant and changed her behavior. She was completely honest and open with me about everything. Additionally, she agreed to let me track her location and remained patient whenever I had an anxiety attack in the middle of the night, and insisted on going through her phone, a situation that, in hindsight, was a form of abuse by me. After about a year from when we got back together, life seemed to settle back into a routine, except for the occasional flare-up of anger whenever she did something that reminded me of her infidelity. Of course, it was wrong of me to react that way, since my trust issues should be mine alone to handle in a healthier fashion. About a year into this healing process, she broke down again and told me that she'd actually slept with multiple people and withheld it from me because it didn't seem relevant. I completely lost control after this. The horrible things I said, texted, and did were beyond anything I thought myself capable of. I took the ring I bought her and crushed it with a hammer. I ripped up love notes I wrote to her when I was 18 in her presence. I insulted and berated her every chance I got. She had cheated on me, but it was my responsibility to be the bigger person and not respond or continue responding with such anger and aggression. To be honest, I'm no better than she is. I feel embarrassed, ashamed, and remorseful for what I've done. You probably think I'm a complete jerk, and I understand why. I can't deny it. How can I make this stop? Self-control is my responsibility, but it's like I'm being overwhelmed by the anger and animosity towards this person. Why can't I just forgive her and try to heal our relationship, loving and respecting her despite her mistakes? She has spent so much time and energy apologizing and trying to make amends. Am I insane? I'm still plagued with guilt for all the nasty things that I've said and done to her, like smashing the ring. But at the same time, there is a voice in my head telling me she deserves it and more. This makes me feel even worse, as I am certainly not that kind of person. I can hardly believe the things I said and did, and it drives me crazy that I allowed myself to stray so far from who I am and what my values are. If I'm a good person, why do I still desire to destroy, even when I know it's wrong? I desperately want to break down and apologize, knowing that what I did was wrong. Still, a large part of me would rather yell, "Fuck you," at her until I collapse from exhaustion. This constant conflict is driving me insane. How do I reconcile with this garbage person I've become because of this? Desert Eagle 9000 says she's a habitual liar. Imagine what it would be like to live with someone you always have to question and suspect, with good reason. It could quickly become a strain on your mental health, especially if you are already short-tempered. She admitted to cheating, but only one instance. Eventually, she admitted there was much more to the story and her infidelity was much worse than she originally admitted to. Yet, she waited until you were deeply hurt to add further damage to the wound already inflicted. Your reactions are an expression of your inner pain and anguish. You can't just ignore this. Trying to brush it aside will harm your well-being even further. Your agony is genuine. She may feel somewhat relieved at having told the truth, but you have been profoundly wounded. Professional Dog 2E68 responds, "Brother, you need to start the healing process. She is the cause of your trauma, but you cannot start to heal while she continues to deceive you. You can't trust her actions, even during what was supposed to be a reconciliation." Fingerskin12 replies, "You don't have to feel ashamed of yourself. You're not insane either. The fact that you brought back a cheater who has done this multiple times before is a sign that you need to take some steps to look after your mental health. Her lack of respect for you should not be tolerated. Cut ties with her and get the help you need. That bitterness and resentment will creep into other areas of your life if you don't stop it now. Don't let her control your life anymore." Spicy Vegetable 72 comments, "After I discovered my ex-husband's infidelity, I became extremely angry. I blamed him for all of our problems. I was extremely emotional and irrational. Many times I would throw objects against walls out of frustration. To help me manage my emotions, I started individual therapy 2 times a week and couples counseling once a week. My husband ruined me in the worst way. I used to be someone who enjoyed and loved life, but after his betrayal, I found it hard to trust again. It took a few years of therapy before I could even consider dating again after he cheated for the second time. As it turns out, he was a serial cheater and had one-night stands whenever he went out for guy nights. To make matters worse, he would offer me access to his phone and do other things that were meant to regain my trust in him, and I always fell for it. In the end, when I walked in on him, he was cheating again. All I saw was red. I broke and threw everything within reach at him and her. He got in my face. He got a bloody nose. Mind you, I am a tiny woman and he is well-muscled and tall as a house. It was a nightmare. He never pressed charges, but he honestly could have. My advice is that you take action now. Break up with her and go to counseling. That's the only way for you to recover. Don't rush it, though. Healing will take time. Everyone deserves better than someone who is as selfish as your, hopefully, ex. Thank you for watching this video. If you have anything to add, please leave your thoughts and comments in the section below. Have a good day.